Hey, what the fuck is up, guys? So, right now we're going to be going over the new patch that dropped today. It's a little late. It's actually, like, almost 3 a.m. the next day, so don't tell anybody. But, yeah, the patch launched. I haven't been really able to look at it except now, so this is going to be first impressions, really. New skins, Transformers, pretty cool. Geb, Jingwei, and Megatron Ra, I think those are all pretty neat. Scylla skin, that one looks alright. That looks really cool for Gilgamesh. That's mediocre. That's alright. I like the plushy ones. And then that on her skin looks like will be kind of dope. On her has some pretty cool skins already though. So let's look into here. So Transformers, digital loot packs, Odyssey, Winter Wonderland chests, more updates to come, paid track items. This is just for the battle pass, which I do recommend buying. I always like buying these dual tier battle passes just because you can get a lot of cool chests from them. And as long as you're, logging in every single day, you should be getting 50 gems per week. So that takes not too long to stack up. Freedom tracks, the general, so quality of life, new rank, conquest draft system, all bans. This new draft system will only apply to rank conquest modes for keyboard, mouse, and controller cues. It will not be applied to any competitive play. It'll also be a custom draft type option, all bans. All bank time has been removed. Planning phase 30 seconds. The first phase before bans returns to Smite. Each player will be able to make up to one god they intend to pick to show their teammates. They can also show up to one god they suggest their team should ban. Players can also use this time to attempt to trade roles. That's really cool for ranked joust. Ranked conquest. I don't play any ranked conquest, but I think that's a really cool change from when I was playing ranked conquest like 4 years ago. Good God. Ban phase is 30 seconds. All 5 players on each team will get one ban at the start of the draft. Opponents' bans will not be revealed until after every ban is locked or the time expires. Duplicate bans can occur. Order and Chaos teams each ban the same gods. Okay, that's kind of neat. So, effectively, if all 5 teams, all 5 players choose, the same god as the enemy team, you only have 5 banned gods instead of 10. That's interesting. Picks 20 seconds each with no bank time. This will allow the same player orders previous order, first pick, chaos, so on and so forth. Trade phase is 30 seconds, launch phase is 10 seconds. That's a really cool change. Again, that's why it's under quality of life, It's kind of cool. And then UI change, players can now see their allies' relic cooldowns on the scoreboard. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if that's a good change or not. I mean, it'll be kind of cool, so you can know, like, hey, we can engage, this guy has his beads up. But I think it could be really toxic for casual play. Like, why didn't you use your beads? Or why didn't you use your Aegis? So I'm interested to see how that'll change. However, more information doesn't hurt competitive play. More information actually helps quite a bit. Casual play, though, is I think where this might suffer. Updated God leaderboard formula, Olympians. Wins at higher MMR ranked matches will now count for more MNR on the God leaderboard. High rank players should be able to reach higher tiers of the God leaderboards more easily. Makes sense. UI fixes, just again, UI fix or bug fixes for the just being able to queue up for ranked matches. New requirements, nothing super crazy. Joust fixed an issue where there was some invisible collision that would block attacks. Okay. Gods fixed just fixed issues with her, which I'm sure she had quite a bit. Decreased volume. I'm not really interested in the bug fixes. Fixed an issue, Oracle skin where the Chain Lightnings played no audio. Yeah. If you want to read those, that's totally fine. Again, I'm not a super big fan of bug fixes. Not that I don't dislike them, but just reading them. I mean, shit's not working as it's intended. If it's game breaking, we'll find out. Bumba's dagger no longer provides a flat heal for destroying enemy towers and phoenixes. I need me a lion. Yada, yada, yada. Balance. Live with the Transformers update. It'll be its own queue. Game mode's Corrupted Arena. It'll be its own queue. Or it can be chosen as a game mode for custom games. That's kind of cool. Slash game mode update. Slash will now be launched in 9.1. So it'll be launched next season instead of this season currently. So it'll be next year. With the arrival of the new season of Smite, thanks so much for your patience. We know the community has been anticipating this mode, and we want to make sure we take the time to do it right. Conquest. Increase the amount of time at the start of each match from when players spawn in until minions spawn by 5 seconds. Added a Goldfinch character and nest to the environment near the Gold Fury objective as a memorial to John Finch. That's kind of nice. Okay, so some different changes. So this is just talking about shit that they're thinking. Don't really want to read that. Death Toll. Increased physical power from 15 to 20. Increased magical power from 30 to 35. So this has been underperforming, it looks like. So just a little extra power. Will be kind of nice. Great for auto-attacking. Increased basic attack damage from 20 to 25. This has been underperforming it as well as it looks like. So that's nice to see a buff in that. Benevolence doesn't seem very good to me. So hopefully this is a buff. Benevolence, Sentinel's Gift, and the occasional War Flag are seeing much healthier spread in the section from our supports. Benevolence in particular is seen as underwhelming at launch, but players have been able to leverage the healing to great effect. One thing that has not felt great, but the item, however, was overcapping and losing on stacks if there was no allies harm to heal. Now, when you would gain stacks from assists that will overcap you, they are simply consumed as long as an ally is near you. This should help this item feel better. Okay, if you were at 50 stacks and gain another stack for any reason and you are near an ally, that stack will be automatically consumed for gold and you'll remain at 50 stacks. Decreased health from 100 to 75. Okay, kind of a sideways thing. Kind of cool for the stacks, but losing some health kind of sucks. Vamp Shroud has some increased power. I like Vamp Shroud on Scylla, personally, so that's kind of nice. Sigil of the Old Guard now has 5% damage mitigation as a stat applied always. That's really nice. That'll make this a lot stronger. Increase the duration of the passive rebuke stack buff, which provides stacking damage mitigation from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. This might be something to pick up. That's actually a really nice change to it. Infused Sigil. Decrease the stacks required to trigger the explosion from 4 to 3. Increased passive base explosion damage from 500 to 600. This is also another thing to look at. That is a lot stronger. It is 25% stronger and 1/6 stronger on damage. So that's an item I would really keep an eye out for. Warrior's Axe, increased cost from 600 to 650. Remove 75 health. Decreased physical protections from 15 to 10. Added 115 physical power. Added 20 magical power. Okay. So it's becoming a more of an attack-focused item instead of defensive. Shit, that's really sideways to me. I don't think that's really a buff or a nerf. A lot stronger for more aggressive gods, but, you know, you're losing the health as well as a little bit of protections. I'm interested to see how that performs. I mean, I'd rather have 15 protections than 15 extra power, but it's a lot nicer if you want to go a little more bruiser-esque. Sundering Axe added physical power from 0 to 40, added magical power from 0 to 65, removed health. So they're removing health and giving it power. I don't know, if you're using Sundering Axe, you're wanting to be really healthy, so I'm not liking that too much. But 40 power is a lot, so that's again something to keep an eye out for. We're not even very far into this. There's a lot of interesting changes going on. Hero's Axe sucks, so increased physical protections from 35 to 40. That's nice. That's just a nice quality of life buff on that. Still probably won't pick it up. Lotus Crown, 100 gold increase cost on it. Apparently it's too strong. Lotus Crown is pretty good. Mystic Mail's getting a nerf. It's being increased by 100 gold. It's losing 5 physical protections. If you're running Mystical Mail, I don't think that's actually that bad, because you're losing 5 physical protections and the item's great already. I mean, it's a nerf. It's not something that I'd be worried about. I'd still run Mystical Mail. Book of the Dead, increased power from 100 to 120. Added 20 CCR, increased the mana shield on the passive from 20 to 30% max mana. That's good. That's really good. For the gods that actually utilize Book of the Dead, that's really nice. That's a really nice defensive item to go for you. If you're just building like a mage power build, you know, because typically, I mean, you can get maybe like 2,000 mana, if not more. That's a 600 shield. You know, if you're running Kukulkan or anything, that's nice to see. Kukulkan, yeah, not Kukulkan. Staff of Mirrodin. It gets decreased cost and has increased magical power. I think that's nice because Staff of Mirrodin really sucks. I don't think that's enough to make it good. But it's a step in the right direction. You know, some gods really enjoy Staff of Mirrodin. For the most of them, it's kind of trash though. Fail Not, increased critical strike chance from 10% to 20%. That's nice. A little buff to hunters. Increased physical power from 35 to 40. Minor change, but that's nice. Best Stats rework is crazy. It's mostly her ult is what's getting just super revamped. I kind of want to do a guide on her. Remove the reference to her old ultimate 1 of 3 ability. She gets just some quality of life changes on this. Best Stat gains physical lifesteal. The new passive gains physical lifesteal and physical ability lifesteal. When enemies, additional enemy gods hit by her are revealed to Best Stat for 6 seconds. So just lifesteal. It goes up to 15% against minions and 25% against gods. And that's lifesteal and ability lifesteal. So she's going to be really good with that ability lifesteal. I think it's a much stronger passive. I think Razor Whip, so decreased cooldown. And instead of having ticks over 1 second, it's every 0.5 seconds. So you get your damage out there a lot quicker. Or every 0.6 seconds. But it hits 1 tick at 0. So basically you're going to get your damage out twice as fast with this. That's quite nice with a reduced cooldown. And then her ultimate, Huntress of Best Stat. Best Stat becomes CC immune and conjures a radiant projectile that travels forward in a line, damaging and stunning the first enemy god hit. A Guardian of Bast is summoned at the location that picks up and grabs the enemy hit, bringing them to the initial firing location. On successful capture, a pool of quicksand is created under the enemy, creating a vortex which drags targets towards the center and deals damage. So kind of like a Poseidon sort of thing. Initial hit, 180 to 420, 100% scaling, really nice. Quicksand damage, 20 to 40, 15% physical power, and it has the 6 ticks just like Poseidon. 80 second cooldown. A very interesting ability, kind of like old Arachne ult. That's what I've heard it be referenced to. Looks like she's getting some nerfs, so increased tick rate from 0.5 to 0.4 seconds. So she takes more damage from being in walls. Decreased scaling from her Tear of the Veils from 90% to 80%, and decreased rift damage from 35 to 30% per tick. That's nice. Just nerfing her a little bit. You know, she's overperforming. Most new gods should be overperforming though. If a new god doesn't get nerfed at least a little bit, they're trash. That being said, Naja, this ability for ring toss now deals increased damage to only the first enemy hit by initial ring toss projectile. Increased initial hit damage from 75 to 175, 20% physical power scaling, to 80 to 200 with 40% physical power scaling. The other damage in this ability is unchanged. Additional targets hit due to the ring bouncing will still take damage equal to the current amount. Targets hit multiple times by the same ring due to bounces will take the same reduced damage. That's nice. That's a little bit stronger of an ability for Naja. It makes the initial hit actually do something. Thor increased physical power scaling on the first 2 hits from 35 to 40%. A little bit more damage is nice. Aegis Assault. While Zeus is not weighed down by his shield, he gains 20 to 30% physical movement speed. Physical movement speed. What am I talking about? And 20 to 40% attack speed. That's a big buff. That's a really big buff. So now he can throw out his shield as an escape or just as an attack speed steroid. I really like that. Well, Zeus is not good in Conquest, but he's a terror in every other mode. This is a really nice buff for Zeus, though. I don't think he needs it, but it's still cool to see. Poseidon, this is the one god that I have the most worshippers in the game with. I love playing Poseidon. He's just not really super competitively viable. Decreased tide cost from 20 to 15 for his one ability. Decreased cooldown from 20 to 12 seconds to 16 to 12 seconds. That's a little bit nice on the beginning stages. And increased physical or magical power scaling on hit from 20% to 25%. That's nice too. Auto attack Poseidon, I think, is kind of the way to run him. Whirlpool decreased cost from 20 to 15%, and then Release the Kraken reduced tide cost from 30 to 20%. That's nice just for his passive. Not crazy big changes, but the 2 is a nice quality of life one. Amusin Cobb. So his ultimate ability, this ability now slows the impaled target 20 to 30%. This ability now decreases physical protections by 30% on impaled targets. That's nice. That's nice. Nice buff to him. Shibalanke, increased base physical power from 37 to 40, and increased attack speed from per level from 1 to 1.5. It's a nice change to him too. Increased damage on bolas by 2.5%. That's small, but, you know, it's a buff. Jing Chen increased damage over time from 1.5 to 3% to 1.5 to 3.5%. That's nice. Decreased cooldown on his hook slam. Decreased the mana cost as well. Sky Cutting Axe got decreased mana cost from 65 to 105, from 60 to 80. So just a lot more mana for him. And then his main damage ability, the Furious Roar, has extra percentage damage on it, which is kind of nice. Guan Yu, Talos Assault decreased cooldown from 15 to 13 seconds. That's nice. Guan Yu's kind of a menace, but at least in my dealings, Guan Yu does pretty good. Freya's ultimate. Freya will now be untargetable, rising into the air, and so will Camazotz, it looks like. So that's a nice quality of life. You can't get killed while you're ulting or going out to the sky ulting. New skin voice actors. These are just for the new skins there. Post PTS balance. Update the description text to make it more clear that the intended pull destination is chosen at the time the projectile hits the enemy god. Now when not when the projectile is fired. Okay, interesting. So with Bastet you could throw it out, jump back, and then it would come to you at that point. Maybe. Maybe. Stone of Fall. Stone of Fall is very strong. And that's to be shown by the nerfs. Decreased magical power from 35 to 20. That's rather small. You're usually picking up Stone of Fall for the protections and mitigations. Decreased mitigations from the passive from 2 to 3% to 2% per stack. Decreasing max from 18% to 12%. That's a pretty big nerf to that item, but I still think it's really good on the gods that you want to pick it up on. And then Infused Sigil, increase the number of stacks to trigger from 3 to 4. So they buffed it and then reduced that nerf. So remember what I was saying? Keep an eye out for this item. That's going to be really strong. Apparently it fucking was. That's crazy. That's funny. That was, yeah, that was a bonkers buff to that, and they just reversed it. So I guess scratch what I said about that. But yeah, some really nice buffs. I like to see gods buffed more than nerfed. Bringing everybody up, you know, some of the more unplayed ones. And these are kind of nice quality of life. I think Zeus, that's a crazy buff. You're going to see a lot more Zeus being able to survive and maybe being picked up a little bit more in competitive. But anyway, guys, hey, that was a new patch. Let me know if you want to hear anything else. But yeah, we're going to move on. Thanks for watching.